3 years of hard work.
Oh, come on now!
3 years of determination. The Tigers of Auburn have learned the meaning of discipline and dedication since head coach Pat Dye took over in 1981.
They got the tight end in the game.
You got a tight end on the back.
We got to stop the sweep to the backside. We're going gator blitz.
The Auburn players have been a witness to his leadership and wisdom. They have seen his teachings pay off when it really matters, in the heat of battle with the game on the line.
Let's go, defense! Let's go!
Pat Dye has brought winning football back to Auburn. He has restored a sense of pride and achievement. Players, students, and alumni can once again hold their heads high. The Tigers are back where they belong. There is nothing to compare to the warm glow of victory. But Pat Dye is quick to put winning into perspective. He knows it is a time to reflect, to take a moment to honor those things that truly matter.
Let us use this day and this event to strengthen our lives and understand and know that there is truly a spirit that's bigger than all of us. Guide us and lead us in the coming week. Bless every family that's represented here. Be with the team in the other dressing room. Amen.
And winning is also a time to celebrate. In 1983, the Tigers would drink often from Victory's cup, quenching that thirst for excellence that Pat Dye teams have always known.
We set our goals to win a national championship, the conference championship, and the Sugar Bowl. Now, you say that's mighty high goals, and they were high. But I think any time that you can set goals and work towards them, that's one thing. But reaching them is the ultimate as far as coaches and players are concerned.
1983 was a season when goals became reality for Auburn. The Tigers stared at the nation's toughest schedule and blinked only once, achieving a record of victories unmatched in Auburn history. Auburn took its first SEC title in 26 years and headed for the Sugar Bowl with a chance at the national championship. The Tigers' return to glory is a remarkable story, a saga of commitment and determination. Southern Mississippi was the first team to face Auburn's offensive attack, an attack that featured the double-barrel threat of Bo Jackson, number 34, and Lionel James, number 6. With Auburn's strong offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage, Lionel and Bo were free to do their thing. The experienced Tiger defense dominated the Golden Eagles, yielding only a field goal as Auburn rolled to a lopsided 24-3 win in its first outing. But the Tigers would not fare as well in their struggle with the Longhorns of Texas. Auburn fans had to wait until late in the fourth quarter for the Tigers to score. And by that time, it was too late. But with the loss to Texas, the offense made adjustments, changes that helped them crush Tennessee 37-14 the following week.
We knew that our offense wasn't playing as well as it should have been, and that particular game, we got the ball on the corner to Lionel and Bo a lot, and also we controlled the line of scrimmage with our offensive line really blew theirs off the ball, and when we had to have our 3rd down and 3s and 3rd and 4s, we got them.
Quarterback Randy Campbell had been criticized for his lack of impressive statistics, but his teammates knew that he excelled in the one statistic that matters most.
The bottom line is he's a winner, and he's had a winning record here at Auburn, and we've been very successful. He's our field general that dictates what we do. He's a major part in our offense, and without him, you know, the running backs that we have can't function, and he's like the heart in our body. If he's not out there, we're kind of in trouble. We're almost lost.
The Tennessee game was an outstanding offensive performance, and much of the credit had to go to the offensive line. These players battled furiously in the trenches with little recognition, but guard David Jordan and center Yan Cowart know the importance of their positions and their value to the overall offensive attack.
Offensive linemen don't get that much glory, and we're kind of the no-names out there. You know, everybody knows who Bo Jackson and Lionel James and all those guys that touch the football are, and we get our satisfaction in seeing the running backs score. When we put points on the board, that's when we are, you know, at our best.
To see people like Bo Jackson run and Lionel James and Randy, the way they operate that wishbone and make the yards, you know, we get our satisfaction in watching them.
Tennessee's passing attack never got airborne, grounded by Auburn's aggressive pass rush and some brilliant timing in the Tigers' secondary. An 81-yard punt return by freshman Trey Gaines in the fourth quarter ended the Volunteers' hopes. Superior performance by freshmen like Gaines and center Yan Cowart were proof of the Tigers' ability to find the right man for the right position.
You build programs with people, and to build a program with people, you got to find out who the solid people are. And the only way I know how to do that is through hard work and discipline, and we found out who the solid folks in our program were.
As a farm boy in Georgia, Pat Dye knew the meaning of hard work. It has been the backbone of his coaching philosophy ever since.
Eyes open, feet moving. Now you're like bull in a ring. Good body tip. Hey, there you go, Steve. Get out there.
The coaching staff assembled by Pat Dye faced a tremendous challenge. Auburn was a struggling program, and turning it around would not be easy.
What we just get through working on? What we just get through working on, Steve? Hand, separation, and there you are. He's right there on top of it, running over the top of it. Let's go.
In 3 years, Auburn went from 5-6 to 11-1, an SEC crown and a contender for the national championship. Behind this incredible turnaround is the driving force of Coach Pat Dye.
He's a man that you can respect because of what he stands for, his principles. And
he made us believe in each other. You know, we already had a talent athlete. We just didn't believe in each other. Since he's been here, we believe in each other.
Coach Dye's come into this program and just turned it around, and it's just rocketing, you know, straight up.
Auburn's second play from scrimmage set the stage for the October 22nd bout with Mississippi State. Victories over Florida State, Kentucky, and Georgia Tech had given the Tigers a fierce sense of confidence, and there was no way the Bulldogs would stop them on this day. The defense was dominating opponents with frightening intensity. Turnovers and sacks made a shambles of the best planned offensive attacks. It was team defense at its best. But according to linebacker Greg Carr, the spark was coming from the men in the pits.
The catalyst of our defense will certainly have to be our defensive line. I think that pound for pound and ability-wise, they had to be one of the best in the nation, and they certainly played like it.
The Auburn defenders were developing a fondness for dramatic goal line stands. It was a tendency that would serve them well against their next opponent, the Gators of Florida.
Let's go, y'all, make some noise. Get up. Get up, y'all, come on, man. Let's go. 17.
More than 75,000 fans were craving action, and they didn't have long to wait. On the Tigers' first possession, a beautiful block by Lionel James sprung Bo Jackson, who chewed up the Gator defense with a 55-yard touchdown run. With the swirling sea of orange and blue behind them, the Tigers continued to attack, building a 21-7 halftime lead. Florida's explosive offense presented a special challenge. The passing prowess of quarterback Wayne Peace put extra pressure on cornerback David King and the Auburn secondary.
During this game, we thought maybe if we play man-to-man all the time, maybe we have a chance to get a defensive line to put pressure on Wayne Peace, because we knew that was the only way to really make him mess up, as I should say, and get him under pressure so he can throw interceptions and make bad passes.
A ball-stripping tackle by safety Tommy Powell wiped out an apparent Gator score in the third quarter. On the very next play, Bo Jackson added insult to injury. Bo's 80-yard touchdown run had Auburn fans going crazy. But on the sideline, defensive strategy was the dominant topic.
Talk them out of that draw now. Talk them out of the draw. We need to be getting the linebackers closer to the line of scrimmage on the blitz, coaches, standing back that 4 yards deep.
The Auburn players and coaches knew what it would take to win.
Overall, we played an outstanding football game that day. Although Florida had a lot of yards on us and scored some points on us, I think that we really displayed that day what Auburn is, and that's just a team that plays from the heart, and we played with a great deal of determination that day.
The depth of that determination came early in the fourth quarter, when Florida had a first and goal from the 3-yard line. The beleaguered Auburn defenders rose to the challenge with the kind of valiant performance that defines a champion. 3 times the Gators surged. 3 times they came away empty. The honor of a proud defensive unit was in the balance on 4th down. hard-fought triumph over Florida was more than just another win. It was a statement about the character and determination of the 1983 Auburn Tigers.
It was a big, big win for you, richly deserved. Showed a lot of class, a lot of character, and a lot of poise in the late stages there when we had a chance to choke. We could have. Defensively, you went out there and did what you had to do to stop them in the end. You did what you had to do. I'm mighty proud of you. This is another step towards the Sugar Bowl.
The final step to the Sugar Bowl would not be an easy one. The Tigers traveled to Georgia to play the Dogs between the hedges. Not an enviable assignment. Outstanding was the only way to describe the Auburn defense. The Georgia rushing attack gained only 51 yards for the entire game.
Georgia game was probably the best game that we played overall defensively. I know, speaking for the defensive line, that was by far our best game because we were facing one of the finest offensive lines in the country, and we came out and dominated the whole ball game.
It was the alert, hard-hitting defense of Doug Smith that caused a fumble early in the first quarter. The Auburn offense quickly cashed in on the costly turnover. A textbook block by Bo Jackson sent Lionel James scampering into the end zone. For more than 56 minutes, the nation watched the Tigers put a stranglehold on the Dogs' offense, thwarting every Georgia attempt to score. A touchdown in the closing minutes and an onside kick brought the Georgia fans back to life. But the Auburn defenders knew how to handle last-minute heroics. The Southeastern Conference Championship was hanging in the balance, but the Dogs could only move backwards, netting a loss of 6 yards in 4 downs. A perfectly timed move by cornerback Jimmy Warren ended Georgia's comeback hopes. The Tigers were Sugar Bowl bound, and Auburn fans were ecstatic. Winning the close games is the mark of a champion. It is also the mark of a well-prepared coaching staff.
We knew that we were going to be in a lot of close football games because of the difficulty of our schedule. So our coaches, and we worked throughout spring practice and fall practice with our players and talked to them constantly about winning the close games.
This preparation would prove invaluable in the final game of the regular season against arch-rival Alabama. This annual war goes beyond the normal rivalry of college football.
And the Deep South football is a way of life, and especially in Alabama, and that's something that we really wanted.
Whoever win a game most likely gonna get the best prospects in, high school football. So that's a big key.
It's bragging rights for the Auburn people for a year. Our players have got to live with it for a lifetime. It certainly helps as far as our recruiting efforts in the state. And of course, the Alabama game this year gave us the conference championship outright.
The threat of severe thunderstorms and an Alabama team determined to play spoiler greeted the Tigers on December 3rd. A national television audience and the SEC crown made conditions right for a big game, perfect for sophomore sensation Bo Jackson.
The great thing about Bo is the fact that he's good all the time, but he's a little better in the big games.
The Alabama defenders found out just how much better. Bo galloped for 256 yards, the best single-game performance by an SEC back in 1983. It was a great ending to a regular season that saw him achieve consensus All-American and SEC Player of the Year honors. The key to stopping Alabama was quarterback Walter Lewis.
I guess we've played some good quarterbacks this year, but Walter Lewis would, in my opinion, have to be the best one we've played because he could do so many things well. He could not only pass, but he could also run, and that posed a threat to everybody on the defense, his ability to run out of the backfield.
The Tigers made life miserable for Lewis. Number 10 completed only 5 of 22 passes, and none in the second half. He spent most of the game scrambling for his life. But Auburn was having less success against the Crimson Tide running game. And when Ricky Moore bolted through the right side in the third quarter, momentum took a dangerous swing toward Alabama. Tide fans had little time to rejoice, though. On Auburn's first offensive play, Bo Jackson showed why many people consider him the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy in 1984. The rain finally came, washing away any hopes of an Alabama victory. The Tide would not cross midfield the rest of the game. For the second straight year, Auburn had defeated Alabama. The Tigers had sole possession of the SEC championship. The final chapter of this storybook season was a rendezvous with Michigan in the Sugar Bowl, and a chance to do what no other Auburn team had ever done.
The Sugar Bowl is important to us because we have a chance to go out this game making history, and that being that we can win 11 games at Auburn, and which has never been done.
Auburn's legendary War Eagle had watched the Tigers play the NCAA's toughest schedule. Now it was the Michigan Wolverines' turn to face the team that many people considered the best in the nation. A national television audience watched two determined, aggressive defenses lock horns, scratching and clawing for an advantage through 4 quarters of bone-crushing football. Lionel James and Bo Jackson combined for over 200 yards rushing. But with Michigan defenders shadowing their every move, the Auburn rushing attack shifted in the second half to Tommy Agee, number 30. The freshman running back responded brilliantly, making crucial gains to set up scoring opportunities. Auburn cashed in on those opportunities with a clutch performance from kicker Al Del Greco. Del Greco was ending his career at Auburn with a long list of school records. But no kick would be more important than the one he would attempt late in the fourth quarter. With only seconds remaining, Auburn trailed 7-6. A season of hard work and determination were riding on the foot of number 3. The Sugar Bowl victory was the final act in a dramatic season. Although the polls would deny the national championship to the Tigers, the Auburn students and players knew in their hearts who was truly number 1. Coach of the Year honors and a host of other awards were piling up for Pat Dye. But his greatest reward was knowing what the 1983 season would mean to the Auburn players when their gridiron days were over.
I know that they will be able to go out and compete and win in whatever endeavor they go into. That's the bottom line, is for them to be winners when they leave here. Poised and confident young men, knowing that they can go out and compete and win.